Are you sitting there thinking, how am I going to get new customers looking at my brand? How do I get fresh eyes on my products and services? Well, in today's webinar for Grow with Google, I talk just about that, how you can reach customers online with a whole bevy of Google tools. Now, a bonus inside this webinar, there's a special tool that you can use, totally free. You can find out what's popular, what's trending. We can see what people are searching for so that you can get in on the conversation. Let's get started. This is a marketing class, but it's also going to be a little bit of a psychology class. So buckle up. Here we go. The first psychology term, the first thing that I want you to write down is micro moments. Now, some of you have been to my classes. In fact, some of you were there yesterday when I talked about this as well. A micro moment is a moment in time when your potential customer needs to know, go, do, or buy. Why is this important? Why am I having you write this down? Not just because I want you to do busy work. I'm having you write this down because micro moments dictate if our customers are going to be interested in our products and services. Now, a micro moment doesn't always have to be buying, right? You see, it's no, go, do, or buy. It could be something like my wife and I were watching a show called Billions last night. We saw this one actor and we said, I know I've seen that before. I know I've seen him. And we had to look up Billions on Google, find IMDb, crawl down and find that character in the cast. And finally said, yep, that's where we know him from. That's a micro moment. If you're so hungry, you're angry, it's hangry. It's in the dictionary now. It's scientific. You might look for a restaurant near you, open now. If something breaks in your house, if you have a bundle of joy on the way and you have to build a crib, which I've done twice, and you're reading those directions and pounding your head against the wall because it's like, who makes these instructions to put this stuff together? You might turn to Google and or YouTube in order to find out how to do it. So this is a term that was coined by the leadership of Google back in 2016. It has stayed with us all through the years because it really does describe when a consumer realizes in a flash of a second that they need your product or service. So let's walk through a micro moment. And micro moments are happening all the time. I'm going to give you an example of one that I did, and then I want you to share in the questions box maybe an example, or as I'm sharing mine with you, type into the questions box and tell me an example of a micro moment you've had, or bonus points, tell me an example of a micro moment you think your customers have when they're looking for your products and services. That is going to be an A+ effort. So it was my wife's birthday. As we all know, happy wife, happy life. But I have a wonderful, amazing, beautiful wife who is very supportive and loving. So I wanted to do something special for her. We were down in the Orlando area and I wanted to get her a spa day. So I opened up Google and I typed in spa near me. Now, right on the search engine results page, which many of you have seen, sometimes you see what's called the local pack. So it shows a map and it shows you 3 locations. One of those locations was Cenote Day Spa. And I noticed right here, it was pretty close. I mean, we were right here, and I'll show you in a second. It's literally a couple turns and it's right there. I saw just at a glimpse how many stars they have, 4.9. How many reviews, 42. They're a day spa. They've been in business 5 years. Okay, you know what? I'm going to click. You got me in my micro moment. Now I'm going to start doing some research. So I'm brought to Google Maps. And this is where you see all the different profiles for all of the businesses that have verified their Google business profiles. Cenote Day Spa did that. I see 4.9 stars, 42 reviews. That's pretty darn good. I see that I'm right here on the map. Literally, my wife has to take a left, take a right, and she's there. She doesn't like driving in places where we haven't been for a while, and the weird roads and all that stuff. So this was super simple for her. How many of you look at reviews? Type in stars if you look at reviews while you're making a purchase decision or while you're doing your due diligence and researching products and services. Type in the word stars to the right-hand side of the screen. I'm willing to bet you're like me and you do look at the reviews. But here's something really cool. Not only do I see the cumulative score, the aggregate score of 4.9 out of 5, which is amazing. I see 42 reviews. That's good. But then I can read the testimonials. I see Lily was wonderful, took great care of me. Turns out Lily is the best massage therapist ever. She's an amazing person, amazing human being. Not only did I see that review from Brandon, but then I saw a response from the owner. I'm seeing stars here. Many of you are reading the reviews. Your customers in their micro moments are reading these reviews. Not only are they looking at what the customer says, they're looking at what you say. They want to see you take ownership of the review. Write that down. I need to reply to every single review. Write it down. Any review you get, you're going to want to reply. We'll talk more about that. Now, what we've seen in research is that people will also go to your website. They'll click around, they'll look at your business profile. I dove into the reviews, then I clicked on their website. And right away, this is a site I know that's built by the Google business profile within the system because it's cenoteDespa.business.site. That's a free domain that Google gives to any business that verifies their profile, and that business can create a free website. I can make an appointment right here, call now, get directions, and then there's a big, beautiful blue button. It's called a call to action, a CTA. And what's it telling me? Make appointment. Well, my friends, after going through reviews, looking at the map, figuring everything out, in my micro moment, I finally booked and I got Linda a wonderful spa day. They even went above and beyond and got her favorite wine, Moscato, chilled. They had fruit for her. They had some nice cake and pastries and stuff and some flowers. And she had a wonderful 40th birthday. That made me happy. And it all started from a micro moment, which is where your customers are starting from as well. So what does all this mean for your business? Well, your website may be your new front door, the first interaction a potential customer has with your business. And your online presence may be the only place your customers can connect with you or make a purchase from your business. So it's more important than ever to grow your digital storefront. Now, according to Google data from February of 2021, searches for local plus business have grown by more than 80% year over year, including searches like local businesses near me and support local businesses. And we're continuing to see consumer behavior evolve. According to an Ipsos study commissioned by Google in June of 2020, 6 out of 10 US consumers think buying online and picking up in-store or curbside will be a beneficial way for them to shop, even if there are no restrictions. So today we're going to discuss different ways you can connect with customers online, especially those looking for businesses, products, or services just like yours. First thing, let's go through the agenda. We'll talk about how Google search works. Then I'm going to show you how you can reach customers with search engine optimization. You may have heard of it as SEO. Then we'll talk about creating a business profile on Google, and I'll show you some of the intricacies. We'll talk a little bit about amplifying your business with online advertising, and then I'll share some resources and open it up to questions. So let's start with how Google search works, just so you understand how your website can show up in search results. I want you all to close your eyes. I know it's early in the morning. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to imagine a library. And I want you to imagine this library has billions and billions of books, and it's constantly growing. New bookshelves are growing out of the ground, and the library is expanding magically all the time. But there's no card catalog. There's no resource desk. There's no mega librarian that's going to help us. And if you're searching for a book, you might not just be looking for the book, you might be looking for a specific page in the book. You need information inside of that book. That's kind of what the web is like. So when you think of it that way, finding what you need seems impossible, overwhelming. But that's what search engines like Google are for. Now, when a person searches on Google, they may start off typing a word or a phrase describing what they want, or they may use the microphone now, click on that and speak a full sentence and say, can you please find blah, blah, blah. I've seen people be very polite using Google microphone. Hey, can you please compare X and Y? Thank you very much. So people are searching differently. The first thing I want you to write down is search query. I want you to write down the words search query. Query is Q-U-E-R-Y. What is a search query? A search query is whatever someone types in this box right here, or whatever someone says after they click this microphone. It's basically someone acting on their micro moment. Now, the thing about search queries that you have to understand It's really important, especially if you want to reach your customers online. You can't tell someone how to search. I can't tell someone, hey, go to google.com, click on the microphone, and search for marketing agency or marketing consulting or website design in Manchester, New Hampshire. Can't tell them to do that. I can anticipate that they may search that way, but I can't dictate how they're going to search. So the whole kind of game of search queries is you have to think about, what are your customers looking for? What are they interested in? What are they asking for? And how can we create content or be able to show up when they type in that search query in Google? And once your customer obviously presses search, Google helps people find information on the web by sorting through billions of web pages and showing people where to find info that they're looking for. And basically, the search is a big piece of software. It takes that query you type in and it looks for an answer across the web. Now, this illustration represents an example of a Google search engine results page. We call it the SERP, S-E-R-P, Search Engine Results Page. It's important to note that the content and layout of this page may be different depending on the search, and the layout will look different if you're searching on a mobile device too. Today's workshop is going to focus on 3 typical ways your business can appear in the results. Organic results, we're going to be looking at the business profile, and text ads. And let me kind of put it all together for you. Again, we talked about micro moments where you need to know, go, do, or buy. You have a need, you need to fill it. Okay, so you go to Google, you type something in. You're presented with a page. How likely are you to buy from a business if their business profile shows up? They show up in the organic search results towards the top, preferably, and maybe even they have an ad. They're showing up in 3 places during your moment of need. That's where, oh, it must be kismet. This must be fate. This is the business that's going to satisfy my need. That's what we're going to conquer today when it comes to you reaching your customers. Now, okay, of course, it's more complicated than that. You don't just type something in and magic happens. There's a lot happening behind the scenes. First, Google makes its own copy of the entire web. It scans it and catalogs all the content. It's like the index of a book, except it's 10 trillion times longer. So if a potential customer searches for the phrase yoga pants, Google identifies all the relevant results, then puts them in order of what it thinks are the most useful. And to do this, it considers where the searcher is located, whether the page was updated recently, how many other pages link to that page, whether there are pictures of yoga pants on the page, and so much more. And it does all of this in a fraction of a second, billions of times a day. Now, if you haven't noticed, I like to make this interactive. It's a lot of information. I want to keep you engaged. Snap your fingers for me. And snap your fingers again. Every time you snap your fingers, 40,000 searches just happened on Google. Snap it again. 40,000. 40,000 micro moments were just acted upon on Google in the snap of your fingers. That's 40,000 potential opportunities for businesses like us to show up and reach our customers. And now that you understand a little more about the massive scope of the web and how Google works to index all that information, we're going to move on to talking about how to get your business to show up when people search for what you offer. Now, as I mentioned, Google considers many factors when cataloging and ranking pages. That means there's more than one way you can help your business appear on Google and move up in the rankings. The first way your business might show up is to appear in what we call the organic or natural results. And those are shown on the left-hand side of the page. Now, Google builds these pages of results for every single search, and it delivers the most relevant results for that particular searcher. Okay, so for example, the search results, let's say, might look totally different for someone in Boston, Massachusetts versus Nashville, Tennessee. And so here's an example. If we were to click, you see something like this. Now, this is Trade Street Jam. They can appear in Google's organic results. Now, how does Google decide what websites to show and in what order? There's actually more than 200 signals that Google considers to determine which web pages should appear for which searches. Organic search results are different than paid search advertising. Now, how high your site ranks in organic search is truly a matter of your site being the most useful answer to the search query entered on Google. That is, if they're looking for something on Google and they type it in, if your website is relevant and answers their question or satisfies their micro moment, you have a better chance of showing up. Now, while you can't just buy better organic search ranking, and by the way, let me stop there for a second. How many of you have received a call or maybe an email from someone at Google that said, quote unquote, we can get you to the top of the search results? Let me know. Type in yuck or ugh into the questions box if you've received a call and or an email lately from someone at quote unquote Google telling you they can get you to the top of the search results. Valerie went right for the jugular. Scam, yes. Scam, yuck, ugh. Google is never going to call you. No one from Google will ever call you and tell you that they can get you to the top of the search results. All you have to do is pull out your debit card and pay us $450. Don't do it. Hang up the phone, press spam or junk. Google will never reach out to sell you higher organic positioning. Now, I could do a whole presentation on SEO. Here's a quick overview. SEO, as you see on the screen, stands for search engine optimization. This is a word that gets thrown around a lot. So I want you to pay attention. SEO refers to the techniques that improve your website's rank in Google search results and attract higher quantity and higher quality website visits to grow your online presence. So SEO is important when it comes to managing a website for your product, service, brand, because when consumers use search engines, they're typically looking for a specific product, service, or solution. Now, sometimes consumers want to be entertained or educated, reassured, maybe a mixture of them. Regardless, they have a specific need, micro moment, and want your website to be able to fulfill that need. Ranking and search results for particular keyword topics and phrases can help you connect with your ideal customers. And people who are just getting started with SEO have a tendency to feel super overwhelmed. It's normal. When I was starting my agency, I'm going to tell you something right now. When I was starting my marketing agency, this was just over 11 years ago. One of my first clients hired me to do SEO. Want to know the truth? I didn't know what it was. I didn't know. And honestly, I did the research. I went and learned. I've always learned on the go and taught myself and then simplified it so that it makes sense for everybody else. I had no idea what SEO was and I got super overwhelmed. I'm going to break it down. Here are some things that I wish I knew 11 years ago that would have made me even more powerful marketer. One, publish relevant original content. It should be your own. Do not go to another site and copy and paste. I've seen it done. It doesn't work. You don't get points with Google. In fact, you're just marked as someone that's copying other people's stuff. Write your own. Have it be unique. Think about, here's something you want to write down. Here's a tip for you. Think about the questions you get all the time. Think about the different terms or kind of the ways that your customers may describe your products and services. Can you create content around that? Can you factor those different terms and keywords into it? Use page titles and descriptions. A lot of people, when they're building their website, it's very meticulous. It's granular. After a point, you just get burnt out because for a lot of you, building a website isn't normal. This is way out of your comfort zone. So what I usually see is someone will build a website and then they'll just copy their page titles and descriptions for each page. We don't want to do that. In fact, depending on what web builder you have, you might be working with Squarespace, Wix, Weebly, GoDaddy, WordPress, any of those, Shopify, BigCommerce. They give you the ability to add a custom page title and description for each page. Make sure you do that. Think about this again. Page titles and descriptions show up in the search results. If someone's in a micro moment and you have written a page title and description that really is aimed at that specific micro moment, you have a chance of winning that person, reaching them and engaging them and ultimately converting them into a customer. Be organized. Organize your content so Google can understand your site. If you just throw up 20 pages into your top navigation bar on your website, Google doesn't know what to make of it. And consumers get way overwhelmed and say it's easier for me to close a tab and go somewhere else. We don't want that. So try to organize your content. Now, Google Trends can help you research content strategies and refine your marketing messages for your website. In fact, I created a really cool video where I walk through the process of, okay, we're a certain type of store, restaurant, whatever. Let's go through and actually use Google Trends to figure out what's trending. So Google Trends is a free web-based tool. It shows the relative popularity of different keywords searched on Google over time. And it's shown in a graph with 0 to 100, 100 representing peak search volume. You don't see how many people are searching, you just see how popular it is relatively. Now, if it has enough data, Google Trends will even show you a forecast of search volume, related popular searches, rising searches, and really it's starting to give you more ideas for more content you can create. So what you can do is use it to compare the popularity of different words and phrases. In this example, a business is comparing boba versus bubble tea. Two things I've never tried. Maybe I will, who knows? But this is what Google Trends is telling them. Hey, if you create content with the keyword boba in it, wow, it's getting pretty popular. It's hit 100%. It was very popular back in December. Now it's going back up again. Whereas if you create content with bubble tea, you're kind of flatlined at 15% popularity. Yeah, maybe there are some people you can win, but if you're comparing or really considering boba versus bubble tea and which product you want to offer at your store, I'd go with boba because it's more popular. That's what Trends is telling us. So you can take a screenshot of this. I'm going to keep going. Usually this slide was made for when we're live, but what you can do is you can go explore Google Trends on your own. You can open a web browser, visit g.co/trends, and then you can start entering words or phrases that are related to your business. Compare the results, narrow it down by location. So by default, it's United States, but you can actually kind of narrow it down to your region. So for instance, I'm in Manchester, New Hampshire. I would be in the Boston, Mass, Manchester, New Hampshire region. You can adjust the date range, and then it might even suggest related queries. Note, when you start with Google Trends, you're going to be in a rabbit hole. Give yourself about 20, 30 minutes and set a timer so that you stop, because you will start looking up stuff and all of a sudden you're comparing Kanye West and Kim Kardashian, and your day's gone. Some other things you can do. A few more technical things that can affect SEO. First, make sure your website loads quickly, especially for people viewing sites on a mobile device. A slow site will encourage visitors to go somewhere else. It can also affect your search rankings. Second, be sure that your website is easy to use, to read, and no matter how visitors get there, it's easy for them to go through. So if they're on a mobile device, smartphone, tablet, computer, laptop, no matter what browser, whether it's Safari, if it's Chrome, Internet Explorer, Firefox, doesn't matter, they should be able to have a pleasant viewing experience, user experience. And then we have some other tools for you. One is Test My Site, and this will tell you how quickly your site loads on a phone. You can go to g.co/test my site. Now keep in mind, it's not just the strength of the web connection. People can be on Wi-Fi. That's not what we're looking at. It's also, we're looking at the elements on the web pages. So someone might be on 3G with 2 bars. Well, the web page still has the same elements and everything else. It's going to load at a certain rate. What this report does is it evaluates your site. It generates a report with a list of specific suggestions that can help you optimize. You can take that report, send it to your web team, your marketing person, or if you're technically savvy, start chipping away at it yourself. We also have Google Search Console. This tool used to be called Webmaster Tools, and it's important for search engine optimization because it helps you measure your site's search traffic and performance. You can fix issues, you can improve Google search results. Type in 404 if you've ever hit a website and you got that pesky 404 error. Type in 404. If you hit a 404 error, that's like printing out MapQuest in the late 90s and turning left into a development that doesn't exist. Probably some of you have done that too. It's basically, hey, we took a left turn and we don't know where we are. And if you confuse them, you lose them. A 404 error will confuse your customers or potential customers, and they will have no qualms Xing out and going somewhere else. Google Search Console helps you understand and notifies you if there are 404 errors. It can also help you monitor website traffic, optimize your rank in Google search results, make informed decisions about the appearance of your website. I'm going to tell you, we've built hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of websites. Every time we build a website, we suggest Google Analytics and Google Search Console. They go together like peanut butter and jelly. So you can go to Google, again, take a snapshot. I'm not going to give you time to do this because we have a lot of content, but you can go to google.com, search for words and phrases that should surface your business in the search results. Does your business show up? If yes, what text appears? How does it look? That's your page title and description. Might need to be changed. If no, what are the other sites that are showing up? Do you recognize these businesses? Can you click onto their site, onto their page, and see what they're doing and maybe model after that? So now we're going to take a look at the second way your business can show up in search results through a Google business profile. Now, we were concentrating in the last section on organic search. We're going to talk now about what you may see appear on the right side of a search results page. It's highlighted here. It's the business profile. It used to be known as Google My Business. It's since been renamed. That's actually gone through many evolutions of names, but it's now the business profile on Google. To create a business profile, you would go to google.com/business. And show of hands, how many of you have a Google business profile? Type in again, type in me, yes, oh yeah, if you have a Google business profile for your business. If you don't, no worries, you can create one. A business profile helps local businesses be found and manage their information on Google Search and Maps. I want you to think of your business profile like a dating profile. So I have some family that are on those dating sites right now. One of my family members came to me and said, Bryan, you're the marketing whiz. Look at my profile and tell me what I got to do. They had answered all the questions, one word or a couple words. Hey, what do you like to do? Kayaking. This person sounds like a lot of fun. Well, it's the same thing. Your customers are in a micro moment. They're courting you for your products and services. This business profile allows you to show a lot of information. We've already seen an example of it from the beginning of the class when I showed you Cenote Day Spa. We're seeing reviews, pictures, we're seeing contact information, driving directions, a whole bunch of information for a potential consumer who's in a micro moment to choose your business over someone else's. You got to make the most of your business profile. Include as much information as you can. Hours of operation, special hours. When you access your account, you can also include updates about COVID-19. If there's inclement weather, if hours have changed or you have to be closed. Regularly update your business profile with photos of your products, your storefront, or your interior. Or if you're a service-based business, before and after shots, your team, your vans, trucks, whatever it is, buses, whatever it is, show me how I would receive your business. If you were coming to my place of business or residence, what would I see in my driveway? Who would come to my door? I want those pictures. Note, you can also add videos up to 30 seconds to your Google business profiles. Great way to establish a rapport, get people to learn more and kind of feel the personality of the brand. Depending on your business, you may see additional features in your account, like booking, products, and services. Add as much information as you can. The more, the better. Now, you can also use your business profile to engage with customers. Let's start with posts. Posts are like a mini advertisement that lives on average for 7 days. The reason why I say that, and I'm going to say it again, posts are like a mini advertisement that lives on average for 7 days. The question I get, is this like a social media post? Yes and no. Yes, in that you can upload a photo, you can add text, you can add a link, all powerful stuff. No, in that you can't use some social media scheduling tool to post to your Google business profile. and know in that the posts usually last for 7 days. After 6 days, Google will email you in your inbox and tell you, hey Melissa, hey Valerie, hey Dawn, hey Javier, hey Ray, hey Jody, hey Diane, hey Crystal, hey Kate, hey Lori, hey Melissa, hey Paul, hey Rocio. Sorry, your post is about to be hidden. It's time for you to go into Google Business Profile and add a new post. Why? Because this shows up right on the SERP, the search engine results page. You want new, fresh, dynamic content to be there. So Google's helping you keep it fresh. Reviews we've already established. Not only can you collect reviews, you can respond to them as we saw before. You want to be proactively soliciting reviews and responding to them in kind. And then messages, instant gratification, my friends. I mean, think about a great example. Think about if any of you have a streaming service, right? So you have a smart TV or a set-top box, one of those things where you watch Hulu or HBO Max, Netflix, Disney Plus, any of those. Now think about the time where you went to load a show or a movie and the circle just started spinning and kept spinning and kept spinning. And you think, what the heck is going on? You're pressing the clicker, you're pressing it multiple times. You may even shut off the box, redo it again, and it still spins. Well, that, my friends, is an example of instant gratification, or really the lack of instant gratification. You see, we now as consumers expect that when we click on something, when we ask a question, we're going to get an instant response because information comes so quickly. Messages allows you to have your consumers, when they find you on a smartphone, to message you right there. You're notified via the Google Maps app, and as a result, you can respond back to them and win that business. A great example, we work with a chain of eyebrow threading spas all throughout Massachusetts in all the different malls. People all the time are messaging when they find the eyebrow threading kiosk or spa saying, hey, do you take appointments? The owner, Christina, is on the ball. She will respond within seconds. Hey, no appointment needed. Come on in. I can only imagine the thousands upon thousands of dollars of not only first-time business, but repeat business that she's won just by answering the consumer in that moment. So you definitely want to consider using messages if it makes sense for you. So your next step, go to google.com/business, claim or create your profile. Note that we do have an entire class dedicated to not only creating the profile, but also optimizing it. In fact, I just taught that the other day. We'll have more of those too. You're going to get a link to my classes later. Feel free to join me because I will show you step by step how to create it and then how to optimize it. Make sure you're really beefing it up to improve your chances of showing up in people's micro moments. So we've covered SEO, your business profile. I'm going to talk briefly about online advertising. And what we want to do when it comes to online advertising is understand that ads are the only thing I'm going to show you today where you would be making an investment. SEO, search engine optimization, and organic listings, that means you haven't paid for it. You're putting in the work, the time, the effort. Now, you may pay someone to write your content, or you might pay an SEO specialist to help you optimize. That's fine. But really, if you're putting in the blood, sweat, and tears, you're going to see the spoils of the day. With Business Profile, completely free to create, free to edit, free to use those features I just showed you. You just must verify. Ads is the only thing where you would be putting in extra budget. I want to be clear about that. Now with ads, you can basically, it's called pay-per-click advertising. In other words, you pay only when people take an action, like clicking on your ad or calling your business through the ad. And the ads reach people who are actively searching for products and services you offer, and it helps them connect when they need you most. Now your ads can also appear on websites that are a part of Google's display network, millions of partner sites. These ads can reach people earlier in the buying cycle. So not just when they're searching for things related to your business, but when they're browsing related content, such as watching a video on YouTube. Now, depending on the goals you set, the Google Ad system will automatically determine where to show your ads to give you the best chance for success. In this section, we'll look at smart campaigns with Google Ads. It's a campaign type designed for small businesses and new advertisers. And the cool thing about smart campaigns is that they're flexible. You choose your goal, customize your content, You can work with all kinds of budgets, whether you want to put in just a few dollars a day or $100 a day. There's no contract, no fees to get started. And you also control when and where ads can show, and you can control your budget. Your ads can do whatever you want them to do. They can bring visitors to your website, they might drive phone calls, or they can get people to get directions and make store visits. Smart campaigns can be set up in just a few steps I'm going to show you right now. And here's a checklist. First off, decide what the goal is. What action should people take? Then, for smart campaigns, assuming you have a business profile, you can connect your business profile to Google Ads, and it will automatically grab all the information you already put into your business profile. So one less step. You can identify and create a relevant web page to connect to your ad, a landing page, a specific page on your website. You're going to write a compelling ad, one that speaks to people in their micro moments and gets them to take action, or at least click to learn more. Then with smart campaigns, you can choose keyword themes and locations where the ad can appear. You set your daily budget, which you can change or cancel at any time, and then you launch. So the first thing in smart campaigns, do I want more calls, more website sales or signups, or more visits to my physical location? Choose one of the three. Then, assuming you have your business profile verified, you're going to be putting in your info right there. And I say, yes, I use this info from my Google, in this case, Google My Business, but Google Business Profile, Trade Street Jam, yes or no. And now it's saying, hey, this is your business name, Trade Street Jam Co. Okay, that's exactly how I want people to see it. I verify. Here's the website. So this is where people will go after they click on your ad. Write this down. Write this down. Your ads do not always have to go to your homepage, nor should they. A lot of first timers, a lot of rookies, they will create an ad and they'll send them right to the homepage because it makes sense. Hey, I'm making an ad. I want people to go to my website. Okay. I told you this is not just a marketing class, a psychology class. Someone's in a micro moment. They're thinking, I need this specific product and service. You, as the business owner, have gone to a point where you've created an ad. You've come to this class, you've created the ad, you've put in the budget, now it's showing up. And let's say, okay, we're in the spring, so I have to do spring cleanup. I see leaves on the lawn from when I was gone. So I've got leaves that I have to clean up. I might be looking for rakes. So let's say I go on to Google, I'm searching for rakes, and I see your ad, and it says, hey, we've got the best rakes. They bend, but they don't snap, easy on your back. I click on your ad. Where am I brought? Am I brought to your homepage where you're also telling me about potting soil and plants and lawnmowers? And basically, you kind of bamboozled me. You set an expectation that I'm going to learn more about these super rakes, and now I'm seeing everything else. Or are you bringing me to a dedicated landing page, or even better, a specific page in your e-commerce shopping cart, if you have one, that sells the rake, where I can order it and come pick it up? That, my friends, is the idea of we have to set expectations with ads and deliver on them. If you're advertising a specific product or service, make sure that ad goes to a page about that specific product or service. Otherwise, you've set an expectation, you haven't delivered on it. This is the first interaction someone has with your brand, and guess what? It's most likely the last. Now, this is what people would see. They would go to tradestreetjamco.com. So we see the mobile and the desktop versions. Okay, it says shop now, mom knows best. Fine, okay. Write your ad. When you're writing your ad, before you write, think about these three questions. This is what I'm going to leave you with on this slide. What do I have to offer? Use that to write an ad that focuses on customer benefits. So I'll even change that. What do I have to offer? How can customers benefit with what I have to offer? How can customers benefit with what I have to offer? Number two, what do I want to accomplish? Think about that. Include a call to action that encourages potential customers to take the next step. So again, going back to my example, I want to sell rakes. So I'm going to talk about this rake, how it's amazing, and then I'm going to make sure it links right to a page where they can order their rake. Question three, who are my customers? Put yourself in their shoes. Write genuine, compelling ads that would connect with them and drive them in this micro moment to buy from you. Now you have 3 headlines, 30 characters max, 2 description lines, 90 characters each, and an optional call button where people can call from their phone to allow them. Now, I'm not going to go full depth into building ads today. There's obviously quite a bit more, even with smart campaigns. We have a whole class that's dedicated to building ads correctly, and I walk you through the entire process. But again, those 3 questions are a great starting point. How can my customer benefit from what I have to offer? Number 1. Number 2, what do I want to accomplish? What is this ad meant for? What do I want them to do? And number 3, who are my customers and how can I relate to them? Once you've written your ad, you're going to choose keyword themes. And keyword themes are words or phrases that help match your ads with Google searches. A single keyword theme represents multiple similar words and phrases. For instance, keyword theme jam makes your ad eligible to show when people are searching for fruit jam, vegan jelly, buy jam. Now, after your ad's active, you can review your search terms and turn off any that aren't relevant for your business. You're in control of when your ad shows. And let's say that you're selling artisan jam like Trade Street Jam Co. Think about the words and phrases your potential customers might be searching for as well. You can draw inspiration from the product or service categories on your website, or even how you organize products in your physical store. Those are the keyword themes you'll want to add to your campaign. Now, after your ad is active, you can review your campaign search terms, turn them off, you can change themes, add them, so on and so forth. Next, you'll choose where your ads will appear. You can choose either to advertise near an address or in specific zip codes, cities, or regions. I get the question, can I do it nationally? Yes, you can. My suggestion is still break it up regionally because different people react in different ways and they might read something a different way. They might need certain language. So someone in the Northeast might be different from someone in the South or someone in the Southwest or someone in the Pacific Northwest. So if you can start being a little bit more scientific, you can duplicate the ad and then kind of just tweak it for your different regions or different customer bases. And with smart campaigns, you set a maximum monthly budget. You'll be presented with a few options. You can create your own as well. You can do this by setting an average daily budget. You can always change this budget. Right here, it says 3, 6, 12. Let's say you choose 6. Hey, if things are going well and you're getting business from it, boost it, add more. If things aren't going well and you've given it enough time, don't just give it a few days, give it a week, 2 weeks, give it some runway, and still you're not seeing the results yield that you wanted, then maybe you consider toning it down. But you have to give it some time to let it kind of ruminate. And before setting your campaign live, you'll have the chance to review it, make your changes, make sure that you're editing, you're proofreading, you're looking at how you wrote your ad. This is one of the, if not the first impression that a customer will have in their micro moment. And in a micro moment, we are processing information very quickly. In fact, something you should write down, the average consumer in their online shopping journey consults 140 touch points. The average online shopping journey has a consumer consulting 140 touch points. One touch point might be this ad. Another touch point might be reviews or several reviews, each being a touch point. Your website, web pages, your social posts, your Google business profile posts, all of these things are touch points. These people, these consumers are making split-second decisions if they want to buy from you. If you don't proofread, or maybe if English isn't your primary language, I see this a bunch. If you're ESL, English is a second language, have someone that might be able to proofread for you because this is your first impression. And if you have any spelling inconsistencies, grammar inconsistencies, well, a consumer in a micro moment might think, if they couldn't even proofread this ad, how is my customer experience going to be? Are they going to pay attention to that? Is it going to be detail oriented, or is it going to be kind of like, yeah, here it is? So you don't want to give them any reason to doubt your level of service. Proofread your ads. So now what? You can create ad variations, so you can test out your ads, which I highly recommend. Add negative keyword themes. For example, we use the idea of jam Well, the movie Space Jam, if anyone's searching for that, I definitely don't want them to find my jam company. It has nothing to do with Michael Jordan, the good one, or LeBron James, that version. Schedule ads to appear on certain days or during a specific time of day. If you're trying to drive phone calls, you only want your ad to show up when people can call you. If your ad shows up at 9 or 10 at night and you're in bed, that's a wasted opportunity. And that's a customer that said, oh, I thought I could call them, and now they're going to go somewhere else. Connect to Google Analytics for tracking. You always want to be monitoring your performance. This isn't just a Ron Popeil set and forget it. Come back and look and see what's going on, see if you can make tweaks, and know that you can edit or pause your campaign at any time. There's no repercussions. We covered a lot. Today we looked at 3 ways you can appear on Google: in the organic results, with a business profile, and through smart campaigns with Google Ads. Now you see again, after we've gone through all this, someone's in their micro moment, they type in right here what they're looking for, and now I've shown you how you can potentially show up in all 3 of these places. I've given you tips, and of course we have classes that really dive into business profile and text ads quite a bit more, so you can really soup up your ads in your business profile. So your next steps. Well, first, you want to make sure that your website is search and mobile friendly. So try some of the tools that I mentioned: Google Trends to help you find keywords or topics, Test My Site to see how quickly your site loads, Search Console to make sure that you're having no issues when it comes to Google indexing and searching your site, that you have no 404 errors, which we don't want. Create a Google business profile. You can go to google.com/business. And then explore ads. Make sure you have the first 2 done properly. Make sure you really got a good solid foundation. Then you go and explore Google Ads. Go to ads.google.com and you can get started with a smart campaign. And here's a list of resources. You can take a snapshot of this photo or this screen so that you have it for yourselves. So there you go. Another Grow with Google class in the books. Hopefully this class brought you value. You're welcome to join me at future classes and register for free by going to bryancaplan.com/events. I hope to see you soon. Until then, stay well, stay healthy, stay happy, and here's to your success.